Downtown, Petco Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padres gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, they.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Talking Friars pregame show for September 3rd, 2022. Padres and the Dodgers. Game 2 of 3 tonight. 6:10 is the first pitch. Shamanai on the mound for the Padres. Julio Urias on the mound for the Dodgers. Padres coming off of last night's tremendous win. I think one of their best wins of the year. What was it? 7-1. 3 home runs. Manny, Drury. He's not in the lineup tonight, by the way. Profar. Darvish pitched tremendous. Got his 3,000th professional strikeout. He was unhittable pretty much all night. Gave up like 2 hits. Really, really good. I think he struck out 9. I don't think Shamanai is going to do that tonight. Obviously, that's a big question going into tonight's game, is if Shamanai can bounce back. If he can keep the Padres in the game. I think that's probably a lot of fans' thoughts on this, or like their viewpoint, because they saw the Kansas City outing last time out, and they saw how bad that was, right? Where that first inning, it was just a bunch of meatballs. And if that's going to happen and he sucks against the Royals, then fans are like, okay, well, he's probably going to really, really suck against the Dodgers. I have faith that he's going to be better than he was against the Royals, because I just don't see him having 2 trash outings in a row like that. Campusano's catching him again today. So I think that both of them have gotten closer since then, or at least I hope that they have. I hope that Manaea and Campy, they have both prepared more. I look, I'm not inside the clubhouse. I don't know how much they prepared with one another before Sunday's game against the Royals last weekend. But I do know that Shamanai sucked against the Royals. And I do know that Joe Musgrove, he spent a ton of time with Luis Campusano before his start on Wednesday, and he had success with Campusano against the Giants. So, when I try to connect the dots there, it's like, okay, let's hope Manaea spends some more time with Campusano before today's start, and maybe he can have a little bit more success, kind of like how Musgrove had more success on Wednesday. I know it's 2 different teams, Giants and the Dodgers, but I'm just trying to make that comparison, and I'm trying to look at it from an optimistic viewpoint, because I just got finished watching that San Diego State football game, and holy cow, that sucked to watch. It looked like they weren't even trying, in the fourth quarter. So I'm just trying to be optimistic going into tonight and just try to flush down that San Diego State game and focused here on the Padres. And, they had a tremendous win last night, and hopefully they can help me forget about that San Diego State loss to Arizona, who had 1 win last year. Hopefully they can help me forget that and just focus on the good things that happened tonight. So hopefully a lot of good things happen tonight for the Padres. For the bullpen situation, it was a blowout last night in the Padres' way, in their favor, so they didn't have to use Josh Hader or Luis Garcia or Nick Martinez or Tim Hill or Adrian Morejon or Robert Suarez, any of those big guys. So that's good news. And Reese Kinnear didn't pitch either. I assume that they probably saved Reese Kinnear for today in case Shamanaya does struggle and gets out of the gate slow, or he only goes like 3 innings if they want a shorter leash on him, and they have Kinnear go a couple innings, 3 innings, and then get to the bullpen. But the bullpen, it's, most of the guys have had 2 days off, at least without pitching in a game. I believe Martinez got up late when Chris Matt was kind of struggling to get out of that final inning there, but he did not go into the game. So Chris Matt won't pitch tonight, I would think. 30 pitches last night. It didn't look amazing. Steven Wilson also had 14 pitches, or he also pitched last night, had 14 pitches. Thank you, by the way, anyone joining live. I appreciate that. Or on replay, I encourage you to subscribe to this YouTube channel for daily Padres content. Again, I am Ben Fadden here, Talking Friars pregame show. Padres and the Dodgers tonight. Shamanaya, last start, 4 innings, 6 earned runs. He didn't walk anyone, but that was bad news on Sunday because that meant that it was a lot of strikes. Uh, I I never want to say too many strikes, but there was definitely too many pitches right down the middle, meatballs. I don't think it's bad to throw strikes all the time because obviously that's how you get guys out, but he wasn't throwing effective strikes, right? It was a lot of meatballs, a lot of pitches right down the middle. And so that needs to change today, especially when you're facing the Dodgers lineup. That's a whole lot different than the Royals lineup, right? Um, Julio Urias, he's had a lot of success this season. He's had success against the Padres this season. April 22nd, this was at Petco. 5 innings, gave up only 1 run. Struck out 6 guys. Hasn't faced the Padres yet since then. But his last start, 6 innings, 1 run against Miami. Start before that, 6 innings, 1 run against Milwaukee. The team the Padres are now 4 games, technically 5 games ahead of in the wild card standings. Start before that, also Milwaukee. This time it was at Milwaukee. 5 innings, no runs. So he went the entire month of August without allowing more than 2 runs, allowing more than 1 run actually in any start. He allowed less than 2 runs in every start that he pitched in August, and he has not allowed more than 2 runs since July 10th, when he only went 2 innings and gave up 5 runs. So he's been really, really good. And he is a lefty, so that the Padres lineup has changed a little bit. So Grisham's not in there. Grisham's a lefty. So Azokar's in center. Campy's catching, but Nola's a righty. That's just because that's the decision the Padres made. I prefer to have Nola catch all 3 games here against the Dodgers. That's just me. But Camposano, he did look better catching Joe Musgrove on Wednesday than he did catching Shamanaya on Sunday. But guess what? Shamanaya is pitching today. I don't know if Shamanaya likes pitching to Nola over Camposano, or they just didn't prepare good enough going into Sunday's game. I don't know. But it seems like Manaya is comfortable, or at least saying that to the coaching staff, that he's comfortable having Camposano catch him, or else I don't think Camposano would be catching today, to be honest, because they need Shamanaya to have a much better start today. You don't want to blow out your bullpen before the Sunday game, and then you have, 3 more games in a row against the Diamondbacks. So you don't want to, have a starter go 2 innings, right? Ha-Seong Kim's leading off at shortstop. Brandon Drury is not in the lineup, by the way. He got hit in the head, pretty much. Good thing there was that strap attached to his helmet yesterday. I forget who. I think it was Dustin May. He might have already been out of the game. It was a breaking ball, and I believe it was a breaking ball. Drury expected it to be a curveball, and that's why he didn't really move out of the way. Hit him, totally knocked the strap off the helmet. Never seen that before. He's not in the lineup, but he's doing okay according to Kevin Acee. I'm going to look that up real quick because I don't want to I don't want to misrepresent what Acee said about Brandon Drury here. So Acee said Drury has a bruise on the side of his face, but said he's feeling better a day after getting hit in the helmet by a Dustin May curveball. It was May pitching. Was actually looking for the curve, so he stayed in against the pitch, and it just didn't curve. So that's what Acee said. Drury, he's feeling better. So that's good news. I don't really expect him to go on the IL. If he's feeling better, I know that could probably get worse, but if he's feeling better right now, that's a good sign. Maybe he's available to pinch hit. Don't know. But that's that was the big thing about this lineup today, that Drury's not in it. Obviously, a lefty on the mound. Brandon Drury's a righty. You would think, hey, this is perfect for Drury to be the DH, or for Drury to go play first base if they want Bell DHing, but he is still out today. Padres probably being precautious about it. That would be my guess. So Kim's leading off at shortstop. Soto's in right field, batting second. Manny's at third base, batting third. Bell's at first. Myers is in left because Profar is DHing. They needed to find a DH because Drury's not playing today, obviously. Profar's hitting sixth there at that DH spot. Crony's batting seventh at second base. Luis Camposano, as already talked about earlier, he's catching Manaea today. He's batting eighth. And then Azokar is in for Grisham. He is batting ninth today. With the lefty on the mound, Padres wanted to go with Azokar over Trent Grisham. For the Dodgers, Trey Turner is in there. Gavin Lux is not. Both of them were not in the lineup yesterday. Trey Turner, I believe it was just a regular day off. Gavin Lux, he was in the lineup and then he was scratched. So he's not in the lineup again today. So there's a few changes with the Dodgers lineup today. Trey Turner is in there. Trace Thompson is in there. Miguel Vargas is in there. Austin Barnes is in there. Will Smith's still in there, but he's not catching. He's DHing. He was catching last night. So Mookie Betts is at second base. That caught me off guard when I saw this lineup first. Leading off, Trey Turner is at shortstop. Freddie Freeman's batting third at first base. Smith DHing. Justin Turner's at third base, batting fifth. Chris Taylor's in center field. So no Bellinger either. Trace Thompson in right, the former Padre, for a couple weeks. Miguel Vargas, in terms of the big league club, he was with El Paso. Miguel Vargas in left field, batting eighth, and then Barnes is catching, batting ninth. So no Bellinger, no Gavin Lux, and they have Austin Barnes catching tonight. And in terms of matchups, not huge sample sizes. Myers and Machado have 17 and 15 at-bats off of Urias. Machado has a home run off of him, 4 RBIs. Will does not have a home run off him, 1 run driven in. He's hitting 200 off him. Not big sample sizes at all, really, from anyone else. Crony has 7 at-bats, hitting 286 off him. So my Padre pick today is just based on feel, confidence level, and not based on matchups. I'm going to go with Manny today. Obviously, had the home run yesterday. Yeah, there's some times where he strikes out. He struck out a couple times, I think, last night. I know one of them, it was on the fastball up in the zone, but I'm sure a lot of us would swing at that. That would be pretty enticing, But I'm going to go with Manny today. I went with Crony last night. He did not get a hit. He got on base, did not get a hit. 82 and 46 now is my record so far this season in my pregame show Padre pick. For anyone new, it's not I'm not betting or putting money on it. It's just a fun little thing where I pick one Padre who I think will get a hit that day. If he gets a hit, I improve my record by 1. If he doesn't get a hit, that goes as a loss on my record. And not every game is accounted for because there's some games that I've picked where guys have walked or they left with an injury, and that doesn't count. What to watch first today? For me, Camposano, Manaea, obviously, how that relationship goes. Specifically, Manaea, obviously, watch for those meatballs. Can he not throw as many meatballs today? That's what I would look for, definitely. And then if the Padres have a lead in a save situation, same thing as last night, going into last night, as a what to watch for, Josh Hader or Nick Martinez, who's going to save. I would think Nick Martinez would do it. Or maybe they have him pitch the 8th inning if, Freeman's up and Betts, top of that order. And then they'd have Hader go pitch the 9th inning. They could do that. I think Martinez would get the highest leverage situation. That's what I would lean with. But Bob Melvin, he's said numerous times to the media that, the Padres got they got Bob Melvin. The Padres got Josh Hader to be the closer. That's his role. And that's what they got him to do. He's going to do it. He hasn't confirmed who would be the closer, like tonight, for example. But it seems like he's hinting that Hader would be the guy. I think that it would still be smartest to go with Martinez right now, though. Um, 6:10 is the first pitch. Padres looking for their 75th win on the year. Dodgers are 90 and 41. Phillies are already losing to the Giants. Well, I shouldn't say already. It's the eighth inning, 5-4. And the Padres are a half game, I believe, up on Philadelphia for that second wild card because they lost last night. Milwaukee lost last night. So the Padres have I don't want to say comfortable, but for them, but I am comfortable with the lead right now. Obviously, that could change in a week. It could change if Milwaukee wins these next two games and the Padres lose these next two games. The Diamondbacks have been playing pretty well, so I could not. Maybe I am not going to be comfortable, after the Diamondback series or something. But right now, you have a 5-game lead technically on a playoff spot. I'm comfortable where the Padres are. They need to continue playing good baseball, obviously. They have a tough schedule, and Milwaukee doesn't really. But hey, Milwaukee has lost to the Diamondbacks a couple times already. Milwaukee plays the Diamondbacks, by the way, tonight at 5:10. So an hour before the Padre game gets started. Some of you might be focused on college football or something, but just wanted to throw that out there. Rudy thinks Sean is going to get shelled. By the way, I'm finishing up here with these comments. If you want to support the channel, you can use the super chat button or use the super thanks button on regular videos. I appreciate your support. Just Padres fan talking with other Padres fans about the Padres. Hopefully today he figures it out. Yeah, I agree with Shamanaya. Yeah. By the way, it's Sean, not Shawn. JW says, "Hey, Ben, love the show. Thanks for all you do." I appreciate that. Thank you. Padres played a great game yesterday. Darvish was nasty. Hope we can repeat tonight what we did yesterday. Yeah, that would be nice. I'm not going to expect Mania to go out there and go 7 innings um, and shut out the Dodgers. But in terms of the offense, yeah, that would be great. Obviously, May was a righty last night, or he is a righty, and Urias is a lefty, so different side of the plate. It's a different lineup. Drury's not in there. He homered yesterday, so some of the help is not in there. But yeah, you obviously hope the offense can show up again tonight and continue this good stretch of offense. Hollywood Big Daddy Trips. What a username that is. Soto needs to go deep. Enough of this walking every at bat. But guess what? See, I don't like this opinion from fans. Like, yeah, we'd like to see Juan Soto go deep. Cool. Yeah, I know. He's done it 3 times with the Padres. He's done it on this road trip, by the way, in case you forgot, in Kansas City. But he walked last night, working a great at bat against Dustin May. And guess what? Manny homered after him. So by him walking, instead of swinging at a bad pitch or swinging at ball 4, let's say he would have swung at that pitch inside. Who knows? Maybe he would have gotten out. Instead, he doesn't. He walks to first, and that ends up being an extra run for the Padres. Now it's 2-0 instead of 1-0 after the Manny home run. Like, he's helping this team in other ways. I'd rather have him get on base than swing for the fences every at bat and hit a home run every once in a while. Like, Juan Soto is Juan Soto. If you don't like the way that he goes about it, I'm sorry. Like, he is one of the most successful hitters in baseball. He's arguably the best hitter in baseball. So I know I say hitter, and so people are going to be like, okay, if he's the best hitter in baseball, then get more hits. I understand that. I guess it would be better to say he's the best. He has the best at bat in baseball, if that makes sense. Like, he's the Tony Gwynn of this generation, you know? And he probably has more power than Tony did, right? So I'm not going to complain about Juan Soto, probably ever, about what he's doing in terms of him. I'm never going to say enough of walking every at bat. Enough of getting on base. You need to go swing the bat and get out more, because that's what would happen if he swings the bat more instead of walking on pitches that he can walk on. He's going to get out more, and that's less base runners for the Padres. That's not a good thing. Hi, Mom. Um, so I think we have a Dodger fan in here. Mookie and Freeman over Soto. Okay, well, those are two players against one. So, yeah, I guess if you combine those two players, but Juan Soto is better than Mookie Betts. Juan Soto is better than Freddie Freeman. Mookie has better numbers than Soto this year, but Juan Soto is a better baseball player than Mookie Betts. Juan Soto is a better baseball player than Freddie Freeman. All right. I wanted to go around Major League Baseball real quick in case anyone cares about the standings where we're at right now. I think it's fascinating what's happening with the Yankees. I mean, they are garbage right now. They had like a 20-game lead, I thought, on the division in the American League East. It's now down to 5 games. They've lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10, and they lost like 9-0 yesterday against Tampa. By the way, former Padre Christian Bethancourt, yeah, he homered yesterday um, for the Rays. So, yeah, former Padres all over the place. I think Bethancourt was with the A's, and then now he's with the Rays. But yeah, Yankees, man, they are really struggling. And on the road, they're only one game over 500 this year, 45-20 at home. So yeah, I think the Astros are the 1 seed. Yeah, the Astros are the 1 seed in the American League, and then the Yankees are the 2. So they'd both get buys. But yeah, the Yankees are they're probably still going to win the division, but they're really struggling. And Yankee fans are mad because I guess they just called up one of their top prospects, and the Yankees didn't put him in the starting lineup yesterday, and they lost 9-0. He's in the lineup today. Um, I think Peraza is his name, last name Peraza, shortstop. And they were having Andrew Benintendi hit third last night. So there's some weird things going on with the Yankees. AL Central, Cleveland's a game up on Minnesota. When Minnesota was here against the Padres, Minnesota actually had a pretty good lead on the division. Houston's 11 games up 11 games up on Seattle. Seattle's in a wild card spot, by the way. They're the second wild card. Tampa's the first. Toronto's the third. They're a game and a half up on Baltimore. Baltimore's payroll is like less than $40 million total, and they might make the postseason this year. Like it's a tremendous story. I guess I want them to make the postseason. Like that would be a cool story, but that would also probably tell owners that don't want to win. They can, you know, tell the fans, hey, look at the Orioles, $40 million payroll or whatever it is. They made the postseason. We're trying to win. We'll put together a roster of young players and some veteran players, and we're going to try to win with the guys we have. Trust the process. We're going to try to win every year. And I feel like that's going to be like this. It's going to be an excuse now for like the A's and teams that don't want to spend and continue to not want to spend. Hey, we can make the postseason with this low payroll. Yeah, but that should not be good enough. Um, just making the postseason. Like for Baltimore this year, it is, yeah, because they were supposed to suck this year. Seattle making the postseason this year, yeah, that's going to be a success. They haven't made it since 2001, right? So those are successes. But for teams like the Padres, I know they're spending a lot of money. Boston, they're spending a lot of money. But let's say Baltimore does this for years and years and years, and they don't open up the checkbook like the GM Mike Elias has said this season, talking about this coming off season. If that doesn't happen, then you can't be okay with that. I know opening up the checkbook doesn't always work. Just go look at the Angels, right? You got to spend it on the right pieces, but you got to do both, like the Padres have done. Strong farm system, and you're willing to spend money, right? Strong farm system. Sometimes teams have the strong farm system and they decide to bring guys up. Preller has kind of not done that. He's sent those guys away for guys like Juan Soto, and I'm fine with that way of doing things too. And then in the National League, Dodgers obviously lead the West. Mets lead the East, 3 games up on Atlanta. St. Louis, 7.5 up on Milwaukee. So 2 of those 3 divisions are pretty much done already. And in the wild card, Atlanta, they are the first wild card team right now. We are the second. And we're a half game up on Philly right now for that final wild card, or excuse me, half game up on Philly for the second wild card. Philly is 3.5 up on Milwaukee for the final wild card. So we have a 5-game lead technically on Milwaukee for the final wild card spot. 4-game lead in the standings. But we have that tiebreaker. So those are the teams that we're fighting right now. So that's a little bit of an update. I have a lot of people in here saying Soto sucks. Soto is a bum. Are we expecting a deep playoff run by the Padres? Yeah, these are a bunch of Dodger trolls. So I'm going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed the Padres Talking Friars pregame show. Padres Dodgers tonight. 6:10 is the first pitch. Enjoy the game tonight. 6:10 is the first pitch. I'll have the highlights at Talking Friars or the clips of the game as always. And I'll talk to you guys later.